Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? I am live from Spokane, and we got Dylan. Dylan, say hi to everybody.
What's up, people? This is Dylan.
And yeah, hi Dylan. How's that drink treating you?
It's just water tonight, so pretty good.
Sounds pretty lame. Ben, what's
Yo,
going over
how
there in
y'all
North
doing?
Carolina?
How y'all doing?
All right, you think your Giants are gonna win tonight?
Oh, hell yeah, we are.
All right, doubt it. It's gonna be a rough night for you. Dan,
Okay.
Dan, I think your idol is showing.
Zing!
You might wanna put that away
Oh,
for
you
the
gotta-
broadcast.
I'm in a pretty comfortable chair too, so I can do squats. As you can see, I can do anything I need to during this broadcast. If I need to loosen
But
up
can
a
you
bit.
do the manamana?
That's out of my yoga repertoire. I'm gonna have to totally go to yoga with Vetus and add to my repertoire. So I only know what he showed me.
Yeah, I don't know if that's in anyone's repertoire. I think Shireen started briefly speaking in tongues during that spot. I don't know what she was quite going for, but that was pretty fantastic. So thanks everyone for joining us. If you're following us here in the Google chat room, leave us some questions. We'll have the Q&A open. Leave questions, and if we have any questions at the end of the show, we will answer them. You can also leave us comments and questions in the YouTube feed. I'll be checking that throughout the night. So we'll do that towards the end of the podcast. So anyone who is viewing, thank you. We did get our first few comments in our last podcast, and we broke new records on our last podcast with the 4 viewers.
Yeah.
So that was pretty exciting. But let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Vetus goes home. Roman, Dylan, Vetus was on you. Vetus is your last pick in the draft. How you feeling tonight?
Last pick in the draft, kind of throwaway pick, so whatever. Apparently everyone knew besides me that Vetus was going home, so I avoided all spoiler talk. I've avoided all the forums leading up to this, so I had no idea that he was going to be the first one voted out. But just by the edit they gave him, he kind of didn't really play a great social game in those first 3 days. So, as Serene said, he came off kind of smarmy.
Smarmy.
Yeah.
He's a wee bit smarmy.
Not a great. He definitely did not get a winner's edit last night. I'll tell you that.
He didn't get anything close to a winner's edit.
He got a terrible edit, like
Terrible
somebody
edit.
else, but I'm not going to mention it until we get to that segment.
Dan, what do you think of the Vetus boot off?
I gotta agree with you guys. Pretty poor edit. I think they set him up to look kind of the Drew Christie edit a little bit. He's a little cocky, a little too sure of his abilities, and didn't look good for Vetus as he went out. I feel bad for the guy.
And we saw his idol, so how could you not like that? Zing!
Yeah, Vetus was flaunting the idol around. Oh boy, Vetus, you're gone too soon. But we move on. So we're gonna start talking about the episode, and then after we're done with the episode recap, we'll get into the draft. Who scored the most points this week? Who is our MVP of the week in terms of which player put up the most points? And then we will have a special announcement at the end of the podcast in regards to our first guest who will be coming on next week's episode. So we'll reveal that at the end of the podcast. But let's get into it. So let's go into that first opening montage. We get confessionals from 12 of the 20 players. The only people that don't give a confessional are Monica, Wu, Vetus, Steven, PG, Keith, Shireen, and Terry. Now, I have no other info. The only spoiler I had was the Vetus was going home first, which was accidentally dropped on me by Ben. Dan
Come
accidentally
on,
saw it
don't.
somewhere
Come
else.
on, stop. I'm listening in there. Come on.
But in terms of editing, if you want to look into the edit at all, what do we take out of the fact that the 8 people that didn't get any kind of confessional in that first 9-minute clip? Do we think that doesn't bode well for their long-term success in the game? I don't know. Dan, what do you think?
I think we can't read too much into it. I know we love to make a big deal about trying to find that winner quote in the first, 10 minutes of the game. And sometimes you can find things, but a lot of times people are saying very similar things that you could all take as winner quotes. I think 5 or 6 players in that first montage, I could see them playing that first quote if that person won the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they've left a little up in the air, and I also liked how they just because you were cut off in the first half of the show or first 9 minutes, they kind of built everyone up nicely individually after the marooning. So
Almost.
I thought everyone got a decent edit tonight, and if you're going to try to pick a winner's edit out, I think it's really tough right now.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I think everyone, when I was going through and I was trying to calculate everything, you have Terry, who only had one confessional through the episode. You had PG only get one.
Monica only had one.
Monica has 0, I think.
Wu got one. No, Monica got one. She was the last person to get a confessional. I tracked it. It was 55 minutes in before she got her first confessional.
Damn, they dissed her.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. They did a good job building everyone up. Tasha only had one confessional. It was that first confessional in the first 9 minutes. You see her talking with a couple of people throughout the episode, but she only had the one.
She had 2 actually because.
Talked about Joe's body, I thought.
Yeah, she had 2.
Oh, she did have 2. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
No, I missed that one. That's my bad.
Stealing points for me.
I'll have one more point on there for Dylan. So good catch on that. I forgot about the Joe body montage.
Joker.
Can you blame me? I was checking out Joe's body. I mean, it's hard to focus in that scene.
A lot to get lost in. So.
There's a lot. I mean, the man bun really does it. But overall, opening montage, Dylan, did you like it?
You mean like
just that opening 9-minute scene where they're going through Cambodia, going through the temple.
It's alright. I wasn't particularly wowed by it. It was okay. I'm neutral. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't not impressed. It's pretty normal for me, I think. I don't know. Compared to maybe heroes versus villains, I don't know when those characters came in on the helicopter.
Yes, I like that.
That really that was powerful. This was reminded me more. So just kind of I can't remember what another season they did this and where they rode through the city before going. I mean China. That's what kind of reminded me of China.
Oh, well, yeah, China, they're doing the walk. They're walking through downtown China.
Yeah.
Thailand.
But yeah, so we'll just jump into the episode. See, I think the one thing that stood out to me in the montage, outside of the confessionals, was just the scenery and the shots that they got. They had some really cool shots of the Cambodian, just the forests and the temples and stuff. I mean, I'm really hammy when it comes to the scenery and stuff. So I thought they had a lot of really cool shots of that. But people aren't here to listen to us talk about the scenery. So let's just get into the episode. They pull up to the boat. Jeff's there waiting for him. He asks a couple people a couple questions, splits them into their tribes, and the game is on. They've got the boat challenge. They got to climb onto the boat, grab as much crap as humanly possible, get onto the raft, swim out to another boat, go get the rice. Completely insane challenge. You got people throwing crap all over the place. just throwing crap off the boat. What do you guys think of that opening challenge? I mean, it really wasn't even like a challenge. It was like a marooning with a bit. You just take the crap you need and go. It was very reminiscent of the season 1 marooning. Ben, what did you think of the opening sequence of the
All I
boat
have to
challenge?
say is Kelly Wigglesworth killed the swimming challenge. Like, I didn't expect her to like do that good, but hey, her tribe won. Not to thank her, but Wu kind of helped them win. But Kelly did like a part of the thing also. So hey, she did good. So I'm proud of her.
Yeah, Kelly really jumped out there and was smoking the raft. She had off to a good swim off before it started to burn her, and then you had basically the swim off between Joe and Wu. Dan, what did you think of that opening boat challenge, marooning, whatever you want to call it?
Oh, I loved it. There was lots of fun little bits in there. You catch Steven opening up a bin, and I don't know if you guys caught it. There's a chicken in there, and then he immediately shuts the lid closed and just like wants nothing to do with the chicken. And then you have like that great swim off at the end where you just have Joe saying, "I got it. I can catch up." You think he has it for a minute, and then Wu kind of in Wu fashion just weasels his way in there at the end.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, time to swim a little better, which you got to give Wu credit. He came off pretty good this episode. And yeah, that was an intense opening sequence. I don't really remember being that into the first like 15 minutes of a premiere in a while. And they did a good job of setting the tone right after. Then it just felt seamless coming back to Jeff, and he's like, "All right, we're going now." That was the start, and now this is what's gonna happen behind me. So I loved it.
Yeah, I love the jump from Wu just like holding the rice bag, like he just grabs it like it's his lover, just goes into full embrace, and then it flips to Jeff. 39 days, 20 people, 1 survivor, and just goes.
Hey, we got an intro too.
Total Jeff Pros mode going into the intro, and we're off. No, it was great. I loved it. I loved it when you just see Wu just like going full Sonic the Hedgehog mode. I loved it. It was great.
Rice where he wins.
What was that, Ben?
And he hugs the rice where he wins.
He was in full embrace with that rice. He was getting it on.
Yeah.
He was stoked. He was stoked to win that for the tribe. No, Wu definitely had a good look up until the very, very end of the episode when his look was crap. So we go to the commercial, and we're gonna go to the Takeo tribe.
But wait. Did y'all like it? We haven't had an intro since Survivor Caramon, so I'm glad that they did the intro. So props to CBS for doing that.
Yeah, they did do the intro, so that was awesome. I mean, they do have the intros like on YouTube, but this is the first time that we've seen them do the full intro.
In a while.
Yeah, just at the beginning of an episode. I know they're only doing it for the premiere.
I don't care, but
the intro like makes the show for me. Like, it gets me pumped up every time I see it. I want an intro every time.
Yeah, I like the intro. It's a classic part of Survivor. I understand why they cut it down because they want to get more. They want to get more show in.
It's a nostalgia factor for me. Like when
it is absolutely.
I have like feelings of being like 10 years old again, like watching Survivor and like staying up late and watching Survivor and whatever.
Yeah. So let's jump into the Takeo tribe. The first things we see, they get onto the beach. You get the Wu confessional. He's super stoked. He's playing for the fans. You see him building the shelter. You got the old school guys building the shelter. We see a couple shots of Terry, and Terry's bonding with Vetus. He makes him an honorary old schooler. And then you see Terry bonding with Spencer. And Spencer, you have the confessional. Thank you, Terry's kids. I don't trust anyone. I'm glad he trusts me. Just given the slow build up to, I think, Spencer wanting to play the villain role this season. And then the last thing we see at the Takeo tribe is Abby Maria in the beginning of #BraceletGate.
Yes, I love Abby so much.
So, Dylan, let's get your first take on the happenings at the Takeo tribe first time we visit.
Um, God, bracelet gate. That's ridiculous. Um, and just like a what a bad way to start off the game for Abby. Like she's trying to go in there being chill, and then all right away she tries to start some sort of controversy. And even though I love the way they ended, she's like, I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. Even though she's going around every single person, like I think someone took my bracelet. I think it was it's PG. Like I found it PG's bag.
Well, yeah, we're not quite there yet. That'll come back next time we go to the camp. But yeah,
Like she gets so like she's rattled. Like she's rattled on the beach like about this bracelet, and like it's like someone like my bag's missing, and why don't they make a big deal out of it? And so that was like drama, not looking good for that part of their tribe. And then also I was tweeting during the show, and I went back on my tweets, and my one tweet from this part was sorry Kelly, working hard doesn't matter. And because Kelly gave a confessional like I'm gonna go out there and work hard like Survivor 1, and just like and she even says like this is. I know it's a new game, but I had this old school mentality of working hard and being valued by the tribe, and that doesn't mean anything now. I don't think like if you're a hard worker around camp, like that doesn't hold the same value as in surviving as it did in the first like 10 seasons.
no, it doesn't hold the same value, but at the same time, not being a hard worker can hurt you. You do see people that can get voted out for not working hard. So I mean, you do got at least you do got to work. Especially early in the game when they'll come up with any reason to vote you out. Dan, what did you think of the opening sequences at Takeo?
Did anyone notice like that cheery ass music they kept playing in like the first bit? Like, hey, I didn't mind it, but I thought for second chances I wanted something a little more upbeat, maybe a little more menacing. I don't know. It's not a trip to Disneyland that needs that kind of music. But, I thought it was okay. They're kind of easing us into everything. They're setting the stage here for what's to come, kind of giving you Abby Maria at her best, I guess, because we'll probably see her far worse as the season progresses. Like, a bracelet, you don't think it's a big deal. And if you saw the bracelet that went missing, like, what is that thing? It had, like, diamond studs. It looks like something my dog would wear around its neck for a collar. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, you see her wearing it. Like when I went back on the rewatch, she's wearing it in her opening confessional. And then it's just gone. And Dylan, you were saying that she's immediately kind of going off. I mean, I do give her a little bit of props for not completely exploding on the camp. Like she was a little bit upset, and she was visibly upset. But she didn't blow up. Now, I mean, we see him like the next time on Survivor, it's about to go down.
But so, like,
at least don't go to here. Just keep.
I wouldn't put up with their passive aggressive bullshit if I was PD or anyone else on that show.
I wouldn't either. But I mean,
but if I was playing, I might just like hold my tongue just cause.
Right. But at the very least, she didn't explode.
Yeah, she didn't go rage mode.
And so the one thing that I did notice is that we've been mispronouncing the Bayon tribe's name wrong. It's Bayon, not Bayon. So I wrote that down specifically so we can pronounce it right from this point. So we jump over to the Bayon tribe, and we see a montage of Jeremy just going around making alliances, and I wrote down Jeremy creating the Meat Shield Alliance. Going to Keith, going to Savage, going to Joe. He talks to Tasha. I think the montage, just this little piece with Jeremy itself, was very reminiscent of the scene you see with Jeremy at the opening of San Juan del Sur, when you see him go to Missy, go to Kelly, go to Natalie. It's very, very similar. You see him going around and he's making alliances right away. He's like, I got my alliance. We're going to be solid. I thought it was just really cool that they put almost an identical scene in of Jeremy in the first episode, making his alliances, making his connections. But this time, making the Bro Alliance or the Meat Shield Alliance. And he even says, I want someone like Joe in my alliance because they're going to gun for him first. Ben, you're the big Jeremy fan. What do you think of the opening scenes of Jeremy?
Look, Jeremy is so awesome. Like, I'm so glad he didn't make an alliance with the girls because you know how Cass is. You
Ben,
know
your
how
idol is showing.
be quiet. But I'm glad that he did work with the girls like Monica. Like you don't know where she lies, you don't know where Cass lies. So out of all the girls, I'm glad that he asked Tasha because even though I love Kimmy, but I don't know what was she doing in the alliance. So yeah, I think he picked the right people. So we have to see how it works out.
Yeah, we'll see what it works out. Dylan, what do you think of the Jeremy montage?
I was actually very surprised with how it worked out. I have in our previous podcast had suggested that Jeremy would clash with Savage over control of the tribe. Where in the first time we see them, the first clip we get of the whole tribe is Jeremy making a solid bomb with Savage. And I guess I kind of underestimated how much they would respect and value each other in terms of like work ethic and strength and like kind of similar personas. And my other prediction was that they would both try to get Joe, which they did. I thought they'd be on different sides, but yeah, I was surprised they would all be working like all the alpha males would join up instead of clashing. So I think it's a strong group. I think it's very good for that tribe too to have their strongest members all aligned together and not clashing, which will keep that tribe strong in case they do lose an immunity challenge.
Yeah, definitely. And then the next part was really fun. Talk about really bad edits. We cut to Steven.
Yeah.
What a bad night for Steven.
What happened to Rip Steven? He's supposed to be ripped.
Versus the stick. Oh my goodness. Steven had a rough night. We see the first scene, and he's trying to help Brad around camp. He can't even chop a twig. He can't even chop the freaking stick. I mean, it was comedy really. But early on, Steven's not looking great, especially with the bro lines going around. Dylan, you're chomping at the bit. What do you gotta say?
Just like him trying to break the stick was juxtaposed with like Savage taking down a whole tree.
That was hilarious.
That was great.
Yeah.
Like it like cuts to like Steven like trying to chop the stick up, and he just can't do it. Not a great edit there.
Dan, Steven's your guy. You have him on your team. Talk to me about your boy Steven.
No, he's on my team, and I'm also, if I had to say, Steven's in my top 3 favorite players of all time. So, I love Steven Fishback. And I'm going to defend his edit a bit. If you watch Token, I can't pronounce that word. I'm not going to try. If you watch his first season, his edit's not the greatest starting up. He's kind of what he said he is. He's a little bit of a fish back out of water. And if you watch that season, he kind of grows his way into that game, and his alliance with JT doesn't hurt. But he even says it. He said it early on. I'm not sure if it was on this first montage, but he said, I'm either going to get power in this tribe somehow, or I'm probably going to overplay and get burnt out here. And I think he knows he's in a rough spot, and he has to play hard somehow. That's why you saw him later doing that little look for the idol.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had it was a rough night just like edit-wise. You see him not going off and talking to people. He's off looking for the idol. He's falling in the pond. Can't break the stick. When we come back, you see Joe making the fire, and he's just like, oh, crap. It's a bad look for Steven first night. I'm not going to lose hope. But...
Oh, sorry.
Well, I would say, like, the whole thing with the idol, I was really surprised as him being a student in the game. Like, the person who always gets singled out and, like, ostracized is the person who goes and looks for the idol. And then I just love that it was fucking Kimmy Kappenberg who, like, caught, like, Steven for the idol. Like,
yes!
He like, laughing about it, like Kimmy, like one of, like, a pre-merge boot who, like, made a horrible mistake is making fun of Steven for playing the game bad. And that was probably the worst part of his edit problem, was her calling him out.
Yeah,
I just have to defend Steven, though. If you see 3 guys broing out, I think Steven knows he's already on the outs. Like, going for the idol doesn't do anything worse for his stock than already it is at. Like, I think he knows
Yeah,
he's one of
but,
the first ones out. So what is it gonna hurt if he goes and finds
but he
an
did so,
idol?
obviously, I
Well, I
guess.
have to agree with that. So
He did
yeah.
obviously enough to let people know, so that's the issue.
Okay, I just think in a spot like Stevens that it doesn't hurt you. If you're like in a comfortable position, sure, but he already has the feeling that he's not long for this game if he doesn't change his circumstances somehow.
Well, and I was reading today in his People blog, because he is writing his People blog.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance.
And one of the things he's talking about is like, I bonded with Spencer and Jeff and Kelly and da da da. Basically, he bonded with everyone on the Takeo tribe. He's like, and as you can see, I was completely boned. Like he just flat out admits that, yeah, it was rough. I didn't get on the tribe that I wanted to get on, and I knew immediately that I was in trouble. So I mean, yeah, he knows, and you know, it's hard to criticize him because we're not there. We don't see a lot. But just in terms of the way the edit worked out, it just didn't look good for Steven. But let's move on. So we go back to the Takeo tribe, and we see a montage of Vetus, the lady killer. He's going from one lady to the next. You see him giving the montage. I'm not a ladies' man. I just have this perception of that I put out for the ladies.
That was so creepy.
I got syphilis just from that montage. So.
I got one thing to add. I watched the video with Vetus, but like this is going near tribal, so I can like tell y'all later. Cause Don Ross did an interview with him, so I can tell y'all like at the tribal council part.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get
Okay.
there. I think I know what you're going to talk about, but we'll get there when we get there. So we see the Vetus montage, and then we jump into Shireen, Spencer, and Varner. They're talking alliance. They're talking about bringing in Kelly. They're talking about bringing in PG, Kelly Wentworth, and then PG. And you see, and this is when we're getting the next Varner. We get the Varner confessional. He's talking about how Shireen's talking at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You know, he's saying one thing to them, man, you guys are so observant. You guys are so fast. And then he's talking about like how he's gaming, and then he gets bit in the ass. That was hilarious.
Ass.
What just bit my ass? Oh, that was great.
That was great. It was so like, and he rhymed. He was like, this cast, she's pumping the gas. Something just bit my ass. Like it was like a rhyme, like a whole.
It was fantastic. It was Varner gold. I'll just drop this out. We all know that I'm a huge Varner fan. I loved Varner in the first episode. He was confessional gold. He was entertaining. I loved him.
He was my favorite player last night.
We definitely see the forming of an alliance of Varner, Spencer, Shireen, Kelly Wentworth, and PG. And Varner's kind of floating in between because we know he has that pregame alliance with Terry, with Vetus, with Wigglesworth. And so he's kind of stuck in the middle, and we can see that we see that later when we get the tribal. But so we go from that, and we're back to hashtag Bracelet Gate. This is where Abby, she finds the bag or the bracelet in PG's bag. She's like, oh, well, this is interesting. Where did this come from? And she's trying to play it cool, but that doesn't really work because she goes and tells every single person on the tribe but PG, hey, look what I found in PG's bag. I found my bracelet. I'm going to shove this bag up her ass. I mean, Abby's pissed. She's losing it. And then PG comes and confronts Abby. The whole conversation, kind of to watching, it was kind of awkward because Abby, you could tell, just like wants to rip PG's throat out, and PG's just like trying to defuse the situation, and you could just tell that Abby is just like seconds away from just murdering PG on the island. Who wants to take the first shot of this? All right, Dan, I'm jumping in on you. You made a noise.
All right, I'll make a very controversial statement, maybe for Dylan. PG is the most attractive female player this season, hands down.
Vetus thought so.
Take that, Kelly Wentworth and Monica. Other than that, nothing to really take away from this.
All right, all right.
Abby seems like the same old Abby. Like, what are we supposed to say here? I think like this was just to build us for something else to come later this season. Maybe next week.
Yeah, I would say I think it was part of trying to build a first boot edit for Abby. You know, they don't want to sell us completely that it's going to be Vetus. They want to give us a couple options.
Exactly.
I think they're building up Abby as someone who could go home in that first episode. So they're showing a lot of the stuff that she's doing at camp. And so I mean, I think at the end of the day, that's why we're seeing a lot of this bracelet gate stuff. I mean, it's all completely stupid, but well, you know, when it comes to Abby Maria, it doesn't take really anything to piss her off. You know, she's a firecracker. She's gonna go off. It is what it is. So we'll just move on from that, and we're gonna jump over to the Bion tribe. Cut immediately to Joey Amazing, Joey the Man Bun. He's making the fire. You see Steven over there, like, oh dear God. Joe makes the fire. This is when Steven goes out on the idol hunt. He's digging through the water. Kimmy calls him out. I mean, it's a compilation of Joe looking like a total just stud and Steven just looking like a total nerd. It's a great look for Joe early on. It's nice to see him fitting in with the camp early on. It'll be interesting to see how long this sticks out. But just from this little cut at Bion, what do we think? What are we thinking of Joe early on in the season? Who's got Joe? Dan, you have Joe. Let's talk about Joe a little bit.
Yeah, I think Joe's got the right idea. He said it early. In seasons like this, it's not unregular for the alpha males to go out of the at the alpha males. So he's got the right idea. He sees Savage and Jeremy as not as threats, but as people that if he can get on the right page with, they can be a really strong alliance, not only challenge-wise, but I think there's a lot of like charisma when it comes to having three strong guys like that. I think for a player like Steven, he's going to not want anything to do with three strong guys, but I could see other players maybe being drawn into that and it being kind of appealing. And Joe's got the right idea wanting to be a part of that.
Well, and you see, and going back to Steven and like trying to bond, when you see Savage and Jeremy, and during that Jeremy montage, Jeremy's talking to Savage about who else do you think, and he says, "What about Fishback?" And Savage says, "No, I don't trust Fishback." Like you immediately see, you know, the bros immediately discount, at least Savage, which when we knew he was going after Fishback in the pregame interviews. If you saw watching him with Savage. So I mean, it's just more stuff on Fishback. He's gonna have a rough time bonding in that tribe. He's just gonna have to hope they keep winning challenges and that a swap comes. Dylan, what do you think? What are you thinking about the Bro Alliance? What do you think of this bonding of the men to prevent all the under the radar women from picking them all off? Do you think it's gonna work, or do you think it's something that's gonna fall apart?
I think it'll work initially. I think it'll fall apart come the mid game, and I think you'll have some of the weaker players and more strong-willed female players target them immediately. Especially when we'll have to see how the pre-swap and how this kind of pre-merge game plays out. But if you get those strong female characters like Shireen, Cass, Tasha, even though she's loosely aligned with them, she's smart. You know, she might not. I can see her cutting ties with them. Come that merge day, I think those three will have such a huge target individually, and as a group, like just one giant target. So instead of working in their favor, it can work against them, kind of a la Malcolm and Caramel, and with whatever their names were, I can't remember it this time.
Reynolds and Eddie.
Reynolds and Eddie, yeah.
Three amigos.
Yeah, Three Amigos, kind of like that. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, I like the alliance. I think it's. I mean, I'm a Dan. I think they got the right idea. I think they know enough to kind of bond together as men and to try to create that alliance because they know that the men pick each other off. They go home, and the women tend to run these all-star seasons. So they do have the right idea. But we'll see what happens once the stronger egos start to come up and the testosterone starts to really get flowing.
I don't think Jeff Varner will be all for that alpha male alliance. I think he'll be one of the rebels against them in the leadership coming up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I'm excited to see if that bro alliance can hold up. So we're gonna jump back over to Takeo now, and we see opening shot. You got Vetus and Wiggs, Kelly Wiggsworth. They're doing yoga, and then you get a little bit of a cut of Varner. He's in the water with PG, and they're just talking about the shelter people versus the beach people, the old school versus the new school. He's talking about how he's playing hard, but he's trying to keep it chill. He doesn't want people to know he's playing hard. He's hoping he's not keeping it obvious or making it obvious. So you get this Varner montage, and this is where we hear, he's saying, I think Shireen wants to vote Vetus. PG's saying, no, I think we should vote Abby. And we kind of get those two people that we're going, okay, these are the two people that's probably going to be in between tonight. So we get those names thrown out. And then we get the Kelly Wentworth idol hunt. She's out on the trail. She's gathering coconuts and melons and palm fronds and whatever. And she's going, and shut the F up. Kelly Wentworth finds the hidden immunity idol clue. She finds the clue. She doesn't find the idol. She finds out it's at the challenge. It's not at camp. What do we think? What do we think of the Kelly Wentworth idol search montage? And before we get into the challenge, just the initial Kelly finding the idol reaction. Dylan, let's start with you since you got Kelly on your squad.
If I could pick an inanimate object to beat, I would pick that idol clue. I'm pretty sure she put that everywhere on her body before she. No.
I was wondering when we'd get there, and we got there.
We got there. We got there fast.
Props to her for finding that. I mean, in my free time, I do some minor treasure hunting via clues. So to find a treasure like that without any clues is a hard feat to accomplish. So good for her.
You say you treasure hunt in your spare time?
I do in the winter. There's a 12-day treasure hunt I participate in every year with clues. But yeah. So if I were going to survive, I have a slight advantage in terms of idol hunting. I know what to look for. But it's good for her to find it. No clues, just finding the clue, and then getting that advantage to know there's an idol hidden at the challenge is huge, and that she can potentially get it. Because even if she didn't, even if she didn't get it the first time, she would still know that every challenge there would be an idol hidden. So she would have.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, it was kind of all right. Yeah, it's true, but I think you could rationally assume.
I was gonna say from what I've heard and from what I've read, the idol is only at the challenge if a person finds the clue.
Okay.
So if no one finds the clue, then there's no idol at the challenge. So there was an idol for her, but there wasn't going to be one for the Bion tribe. And if she doesn't get it then she's going to have to find another clue. From what I understood from the interviews and from some of the pregame stuff I read, so she only has the one shot to find it, and she takes advantage of it.
Okay. Now, another thing, what if she went over to the Bion tribe and stole their idol, hidden under the same thing? I was thinking that she could have two idols. You know what I mean?
But there's not one there.
Yeah, there wasn't. Okay, that makes more sense. But yeah, props to her finding that. It's a huge advantage to have a clue like that going to that challenge.
Yeah, Dan, did you have anything you wanted to say about the Takeo montage, whether it be about Varner or about Wentworth on her idol hunt?
Kelly seriously upped her glasses game this year. Those glasses are a lot better than the ones she wore before. And who knew she had such a salty tongue? Just shut the fuck up, eh, guys? I think she said that 5 times after finding that clue. Just slipped profanities at the camera guy. And then I think she slipped a couple more in after the challenge loss. So
she's zesty as hell.
Yeah, Kelly Wentworth is making the most use out of the censorship button so far this season. So there you go.
Yeah, she is. I know. I went and after the episode last night, because she's from Seattle, so she was doing her West Coast viewing party, and I watched briefly one of her periscopes.
Yeah.
And she was just swearing like a sailor, and I was cracking up.
I watched a little bit. She went on even before it aired on the West Coast too.
Oh yeah, she was periscoping nonstop last night. But yeah, so I mean, she was definitely swearing up a storm. That was pretty great. The whole idol montage was great. Um, Now we go back to Bion really quick. We get the tree mail. We got our first challenge. We finally get Monica. Hey, got Monica Padilla is on this season. Who knew? 55 minutes in, we finally hear something from Monica.
I thought this was they brought back Sierra's mom again. I thought this was only
Exactly.
third. Oh, the other Monica. Okay.
Yeah, the other Monica.
Monica Culpepper?
No.
Yeah, what are you talking? You're talking about Laura.
Yeah.
Dan's trying to make jokes. Made the wrong name.
You totally did. You caught me.
But we finally hear from Monica. She just basically talks about how she's a weak little girl. She doesn't want people to notice because apparently she thinks people are blind.
Could have been a win. That could have been a winner's quote right there.
It could have been. I don't want people to know that I'm weak. But, oh shit, they can see me. That wasn't the exact quote, but basically that's what I got. So it's the only confessional we get from Monica. We go down. We're totally going to Joga. This is where we get the second Tasha quote. My bad. And we see Tasha talking about Joga. Joe's looking good. Been in all sorts of directions. The yoga is definitely being more reciprocated over here at the Bion tribe than it is over at the Takeo tribe, which we will be getting to in just a moment. But anyone have any impressions on Joga?
Too much yoga this season.
Too much.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Did anyone see Kimmy leering at the end of the?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like the biggest neck crane ever. Like, I'm loving Kimmy this season though. I thought she came up awesome last night. I loved her.
I did too.
I thought man, this is someone who's changed a lot since they first played.
She grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a good first episode. She had that opening confessional. She had another confessional a little bit later in the episode. So not too many confessionals. Not that Kelly had the most. Kelly Wentworth and Kelly Wigglesworth had the most confessionals tonight. Wentworth mostly just because she's giving confessionals at the camp.
Let me say something real quick.
And then at the challenge, yeah, Ben.
Kelly Wentworth has had more confessionals than she was on her original season. She had 5 confessionals her whole season, but this episode she had like 6. So
she had 3.
That was great.
She had 3, I'm pretty sure.
I think she had. Let me check. I think she had 5.
5.
Yeah, she had 5.
Yeah, she had 5 confessionals, and then she got 5 points for finding the idol. She had 5 confessionals. She had an opening confessional. She has a confessional about where she's trashing Vetus. She has the confessional when she finds the idol, or when she finds the clue. She has another confessional when she finds the idol. She has one more confessional. I was keeping track. She had 5 confessionals.
I have 7 for Kelly Wentworth, according to Survivor Reddit.
I don't know. Well, unless they split some of hers up, because the way that some of the confessionals were split up throughout the episode, they were like they'd start talking and then to show a scene and then they keep talking.
Okay.
And I don't know if I was only counting that as one.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that works for me.
So, but I did that with everybody, so it's not like I was like splitting them up more for one person and keeping them on. So I stay consistent throughout. So we go back to Takeo Tribe. We get Vetus's yoga douche montage. This is what we see his idol. Shireen speaking in tongues. Abby has no interest in seeing Vetus's idol. I don't know if I believe that.
She's in Peter, so.
But really, we're just really getting the thick lay-on of the Vetus boot edit. Vetus is not looking good here. Shireen's giving her another confessional. It was. I'm not a big Shireen fan, but it was pretty funny. He's doing the monkey and the I don't even know what she was saying. Like I say, she's speaking in tongues. Anybody have anything to say about Vetus in this scene, or we just want to move on to the challenge?
I was shaking my head.
A giant douchebag.
Honestly,
Paper. In the
I was a
paper.
little uncomfortable during the whole thing. I was just like, what's the point to this? Like, is it to make me, like, not want to watch Survivor anymore, watching Vetus pelvic thrust off the shelter? Like, it did a good job of setting up his demise later, but, I could have done without it. Could have done
I don't
without
want to
that
hear
one.
yoga ever again on Survivor. Ever again. We had
No?
yoga said like 12 times already in the first episode.
What if, like, there was a secret conspiracy by the yoga practitioners to get it into Survivor? They're just like paying the Survivor people to do as much yoga as possible.
I hope not.
Let's hope not. But, so we're gonna jump out. We'll get out of there. I think we could done crap. We'll be done crapping on Vetus here. The edit crapped on Vetus enough last night. So let's go to the challenge, and the challenge is Quest for Fire, with a little bit of a twist at the end. Bringing back some more Borneo. This is probably the second throwback to Borneo after the marooning. We get the Quest for Fire for immunity and for the big fire making kit. Let's just jump right into it. Takayos takes the early lead. Keith's struggling. He drops his thing in the water, has to relight it. They're way behind, and so Takayos got a huge early. He has a huge early lead. They get there. Wigglesworth's building the pole, but really what we're focusing on at this point is not the immunity challenge, but Kelly Wentworth. Is she going to grab the idol? Is she not going to grab the idol? She gives the confessional, I can't do it. I really want to grab the idol, but I don't want him to see me. But she just keeps looking back. She keeps looking back, and she keeps looking back, and she can't make up her mind. And I just thought, like, the way that they were showing the episode, and then they'll cut to Joe and his pole, and going back to Kelly, and then go back to Kelly, and going back to Joe. I don't know. What did you guys think of the whole way they built up the scene, leading up to Kelly Wentworth finally just reaching back, snagging the idol, shoving it in her pants? I know Dylan was all about that. I think we're gonna get another inanimate object. Dylan. Dylan, tell me about your girl finding the idol.
Oh, that was pretty cool. I like that. I was talking with a friend about it after the show had aired, and I had inquired, said, why didn't you just grab it right away? And apparently, she was being watched by Varner and Vetus, like not like watched, but like they were like looking right at her.
Yeah.
Right at that point, I guess. So, I didn't have time to rewatch it, so I haven't verified that for myself. But then,
I can
think,
verify.
yeah, with the whole intensity of like that challenge, and just a comment. So like the first half of the challenge, pretty straightforward, like running, Keith fucking up, and then them getting a huge lead. I don't know why they had Kelly Wigglesworth do that part of the challenge.
Yeah, why would they let her do that?
I thought they'd have like Spencer do it right away, especially because like he's lankier, and he probably did a similar challenge on Kageyama. I can't verify that, but like she doesn't even watch Survivor. She doesn't even know like.
But does she?
Yeah, well, apparently not. I tweeted to her, not realizing she's not active on Twitter. I said, Kelly Wigglesworth, you need a super poll to get that to get that key, Super Bowl 2000 or whatever it was called. So, and yeah, then Spencer coming in, like they just had him do it from the start. That was dumb. But the intensity and then them switching out and it being, I mean, we don't actually know how close it actually was. Like it seemed pretty close, but
from what I heard when I was listening to the Know It Alls last night, Josh Wiggler was on Know It Alls because he's doing that with Rob now, and he was in Cambodia for the first challenge, and he said it was literally down to the wire.
Okay.
And he said between watching Kelly, was she gonna grab the idol or not? Between that and then watching them, he said finally it was. He said it was close when Spencer got in there, but he said really once Joe got the pole in there, he had the key really fast.
Yeah.
And Spencer going in was a last ditch effort.
If it wouldn't have been that close, I don't think she gets the idol because I think that it'd been over too fast. And
I think part of it was the intrigue because it was so close. Everyone was focused in who's going to get it first, and it was really, really just a cool scene. Ben, what did you think about the challenge?
Look, I told she kept looking 5 times. I'm like, just grab the idol or don't. Just grab the idol or don't. And she grabs it. So I was like, good for you. Now you have safety for how many? I don't know how many days you are out there. So props to her for doing that.
Yeah, as long as she plays it properly. But Dan, what do you think of the challenge?
Oh, it was pretty intense. Keith could have been an easy goat here. He got kind of lucky.
Yeah, that was making me nervous.
Yeah, I was too. Really costing his team a little bit.
Yeah.
I noticed Tasha Fox didn't look like the greatest swimmer. That was something I didn't know. She didn't look too apt in the water.
Yeah.
I noticed a couple other people weren't great swimmers too, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Other than that, I thought they got their bang for the buck right away with the idol twist. I think that's what they're hoping for when they do that twist, and they got it. They got it. The payoff. It was awesome.
I think my favorite part of the challenge is Jeff when he's narrating and Joe's building the stick and Jeff's like,
oh yeah,
is it long enough? Is it strong enough? Just talking about Joe's pole and just all the Joe's pole innuendos. I couldn't contain myself. I was losing it.
Usually those go right over my head, but I caught that one. It was way too obvious.
It was way too obvious. My idol was showing. Jeff's idol was showing. There were idols up everywhere in that scene. And then so we get to the end of the challenge. Spencer can't get it. Joe gets it. They break through. They light the torch. Mayan wins immunity. They get their fire kit. We have nothing left for you. Be gone with you. Takeo, I will see you tonight at Tribal Council. You're leaving immediately.
Alright.
We get just the total dick move by Survivor, by production. No time to scramble. Great for TV. The looks on their faces of, oh crap.
Kelly's still crying.
Yeah.
Kelly's
I
crying.
was gonna say something right quick.
It was fantastic. Ben, go ahead.
Alright, so I think Survivor wanted to do this because they know like they love Abby so much that they didn't want her to be gone in the first episode. So I think that's why they did it like right now so that Venus can go. That's my conspiracy theory about that.
I don't know about that. I think if anything, they were going to be protecting one or the other, knowing especially how much Jeff is such a bro whore. I think they'd be protecting Vetus over Abby. Abby's great TV in terms of being crazy, but Vetus is going to give you the better gameplay. He's more of the challenge threat. He's more of the prototypical Jeff Probes favorite. So I think if they were going to try to protect anyone, I think it would have been
they tried.
It would have been Vetus.
They should have just sent them right back to camp, but oh well.
Well, I don't think it was done to protect anyone or anyone else. I think if anything, I think they were very aware of all the pregame alliances.
Yeah. And
they were like, you know what? You want to play this way? You want a pregame? All right, let's just throw you right in there and let's see how much you've got figured out. Dan, what did you think of the immediate send-off to Tribal Council?
I like it. I don't think there's any smoking gun here. I think regardless of what tribe won that challenge, it was gonna happen. I don't think.
Absolutely.
I don't think it was on the spot decision to save anybody or do anything like that. I like it. Anything different? Don't do it next Tribal Council, please. But one time in the premiere, I'm not gonna complain. And yeah, it makes things up, and it also made the dynamic at that Tribal Council a little unique. And it led to some more interesting tidbits, I think, than we would have gotten from that first one.
Yeah, definitely. I really liked it. Dylan, what did you think before we jump into Tribal Council?
Yeah. It also worked from an editing perspective because they got to include a lot more stuff in the beginning part of the game, which they wouldn't have been able to do if they hadn't jumped right, to Tribal Council. So we lose some of that early bonding and storyline stuff. Instead, we get just one tribe scrambling and figuring out the vote. So, I'm never a huge fan of them trying to figure out the vote because there's so much they don't show us. So, we're getting a very edited perspective of it anyway. Right. So I like just going to Tribal Council is fine with me because a lot of that stuff's going to come out in Tribal Council anyways. So having like 10 minutes discussing it kind of wastes time in my opinion. So I enjoyed this one, like Tribal.
Yeah, I really liked it. I mean, for a one-time thing to just kind of spring it on them, catch them off guard immediately. I really liked it. I thought it was a fun little twist. I know the players hated it,
Yeah.
but I thought it made great TV. And in the end, that's what it's all about. So let's get to the first tribal council of the season.
Hooray!
We hear a lot. We hear a lot about throughout the whole tribal council. It's old school versus new school. We're hearing a lot of talk. Is it Vetus or is it Abby? You get 1 point where everyone's like, oh, I don't know who I'm going to vote for. You hear from Kelly Wigglesworth. You hear from Woo. People are kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen. And Jeff Varner's like, yeah, let's cut the
That
crap.
dude
I
is
think
crazy.
everyone knows what's going on tonight. I think
Jeff
people know
Varner's
who they're
real.
voting for.
Yeah.
What was that?
Jeff Varner's a real OG. He even called
Yeah.
himself an OG in the opening.
Yeah.
I'm
That
getting
was it.
Hatch
That was
vibes.
an OG move.
What was that, Dylan?
I'm getting Richard Hatch vibes from Varner in terms of his confessionals and his gameplay, and how he
Which season? All Stars of Borneo.
Borneo.
That's who
Borneo,
I've heard
Borneo.
him be compared to a lot. Is everyone thought he'd be like Richard Hatch in Australia when he first played. So it's interesting you say that now about him.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved how everyone was just kind of BSing Jeff and just kind of being vague. And Jeff's like, yeah, let's cut the crap. We know what's going on tonight. We know who we're voting for.
The best thing I liked about Jeff in the first hour of the show is that he played kind of like I don't even know what's going on.
Oh yeah, he's totally just playing it off like it's been 15 years. I don't know what's going on.
But then and his conversation with PG was super real. I think that's like the true Jeff. Like I can see him and PG being a really strong alliance actually.
Mhm.
Like I thought that was a real conversation they had.
Mhm.
I have to
Speaking of
disagree
Jeff
with you though a bit though. I think at points Jeff Varner was a little overwhelmed with the pace that the game was being played at, and I
Yeah.
think that's the reason he inevitably switched over to the new school players. He saw
Spoiler
that they
alert.
were.
Spoilers.
Oh, we all watched the episode, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like
I didn't watch
We
the last 10 minutes.
we already said, Venus got voted out at the start. But besides the point, I think that's why he does it is because he realized that this game's a little different than he knew it was played at a different pace, but I don't think you totally know what it is until you're out there. And I think he saw those people better suited for this new game, and the old schoolers going to have to play a little bit of catch up. I don't know who mentioned it before, but even Kelly Wigglesworth's way of thinking that building shelter would have any bearing on what these people think about you in the game. Who gives a rat's ass who builds the shelter? Who built my house? I have no idea. I'm sitting in it. I don't give a damn. It's here. I'm inside it. Who cares? Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely looked a little overwhelmed at times, but then there were times where he was just giving confessional gold. I thought he had a great episode. Obviously, I'm biased. He's my boy. Really quick, we're going to be wrapping up here in about 15 minutes. So if you have any questions and you want to leave them in the YouTube channel, I'm still screening that. If you want to leave them in here, if you're watching here, leave them in here, and we'll get to them at the end of the episode. So let's just get to the vote. So we go down, we get to the vote. Ben's holding up the finger.
Speaking
He's
of
waving
Jeff
the
Warner,
finger in my face.
Yeah,
I
Ben's
read
got the stop
something
sign.
this morning that he called out Kelly Whitworth and PG was like, "Are you gonna vote the way that we plan on voting?"
Yeah.
I heard
Kelly
that as
said
well.
yeah, and PG said I'm not really sure. So
They both said
PJ
yeah.
said yes too, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I know what you're talking about. I was going to get to that after we went to the vote. I was just going off of what we saw on the show. But yeah, so basically what happened, like you said, Varner just calls out PG, and this says, hey, are we going to vote the way we talked about in the water? PG says yes. All of a sudden, Terry's like, wait, Varner, what are you talking about? And that's when you get the quote that Varner says, oh, well, this is my second chance, and I'm not going to waste it. And listening to Vetus's exit interview today, he was saying it was at that point where he kind of knew, oh crap, I think I'm going home tonight. But I think at that point he realized that Varner flipped, and he probably realized that Spencer probably wasn't going to be with him either.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we go into the vote. We see Vetus's vote. We see Abby's vote. And we saw Kelly also vote for Vetus. Votes come out. It's a 4-4 tie. Fifth vote for Vetus, or ninth votes for Vetus. Last vote, Vetus. Vetus is going home. It's a 6-4 vote. Varner flips on the old school group instead of going to a tie. And you got to wonder, because Vetus, or not Vetus, but Varner went home in Australia on a 5-5 tie. So, and he even said in some of his pregame stuff that he wasn't going to go to tie. He wasn't going to go to Rocks, especially in the first tribal council. I think Varner flips here because he has no desire to be have any affiliation with the tie whatsoever.
I think he could have put to go with him. I think he could. I think PG and Varner were the swings. I think they could have gone together. Like I think PG would have gone with Varner if Varner had advocated for going out Abby over Vita, especially with the incident with PG and Abby in the first place.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, and you see PG and Abby vote together. Obviously, I don't know if Abby's with them or Abby just voted with them because it was self-preservation.
Yeah,
but I think the biggest thing for Varner was because you kind of hear him because he's talking about I got to decide, am I going old school, am I going new school?
Yeah.
You know, you can see that he really didn't want to flip. He really didn't want to flip on the old school guys, but he also didn't want to go to a tie. I think he's still haunted by the tie where he went home, and I think that was a huge factor in his mind, is saying I'm not going to a tie at the first tribal council. I can adjust, I can adapt. I'm just gonna vote out Vetus. He's a threat. I can figure it out from here. So we go through the vote. So basically, it was Varner, Abby, Kelly Wentworth, Spencer, PG, and Shireen. They all voted for Vetus. And then it was Vetus, Wu, Kelly Wigglesworth, and Terry. They voted for Abby. So it was 6-4. So Vetus goes home. Do we have any last words for Vetus before we jump into the next week on Survivor?
Bye.
Yep. Well, I don't remember them. You haven't had them. I don't remember what he said. He was like, or did he say something like, you know, someone had to be first, so like he wasn't completely surprised.
Yeah, he said no hard feelings. I mean, he was a good sport about it. And then he kind of, in his last words, he said, you know, I said that I'd rather not come out at all than be the first person booted off. And here I am, the first person booted off.
Which like isn't actually true, but I doubt.
I mean, he did say that beforehand when he was doing some pregame stuff. I just kind of thought it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy a little bit. I know, Dylan, you said you really haven't seen Blood versus Water, or so you don't have like a big thing on Vetus. I really liked Vetus in Blood versus Water. I really hoped he'd do well. He was someone that he played a good game. He was really good socially, especially with the women. It just didn't work this time. The women knew that was his game. He was trying to play the same way. When you have people like Shireen and Kelly Wentworth who are big fans of the game on your tribe, they know what you're doing. It just didn't work out for him. So it was a bummer, but you know, I think Vetus or Abby, if either one would have went home, I would have been okay with it. And overall, I think I'm okay with Vetus going home. It's a big person to go home first in terms of a character, in terms of a threat. But I think that made it a really good first episode, especially for those of us that didn't know that Vetus was going home. So, anyone last thing on Vetus, or are we gonna just jump right into? We'll jump into the point system. We'll jump to the draft. So we all good with that?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So week 1. This is what happened. So I'll read through the teams really quick. So we had Dylan's team, the Power Fatales. He had Tasha Fox, Monica Padilla, Kelly Wentworth, Wu, and Vetus. Dan, 4 guys and a PG. He had Spencer, Joe, Steven, Savage, and PG. Myself, nailed it. Jeff Varner, Keith Nail, Shireen, Cass, and Sierra. And then Ben, the Power 5, you had Jeremy Collins, Kimmy Kappenberg, Kelly Wigglesworth, Abby, Maria, and Terry. So most of the points tonight were really it was very, very confessional based tonight. A lot of the steady points came off of confessionals. I think myself, Dan, and Ben had 11 confessionals. I had 10, Dan had 10, and Dylan only had, I think, 5 confessionals.
How?
That's what happens.
No, you had
when
6. You had 6. I forgot because Tasha had 2. You had a really, really rough time because you had Vetus. No, I think actually you had more than that. I'm sorry. I'm reading this wrong. So overall, Dylan, overall, you had 32 points after I add in the extra confessional that I missed by Tasha.
Yeah, Kelly Wentworth had 5, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tasha had 2. Monica had 1. Vetus had like 3.
Yeah. So no. Vetus had 2 confessionals. I've got them all marked down. Like I said, I missed the one Tasha. I did this right beforehand. So overall, but when you factor in, so the big one that kind of split it up towards the end after confessionals, were who had buy-on members, because it was a combined challenge of reward and immunity. So the challenge was worth 8 points instead of 5 for immunity, 3 for reward. It was an 8-point challenge. So if you had someone from buy-on, you got 8 points per. So laying it out, Ben had 27 points. Ben's highest scorer, looking at it, he had Kimmy with 10. He had Kelly Wigglesworth. Oh, no, I guess she only had 2 because she didn't win anything. Abby Maria had 4. Abby Maria had 4 confessionals tonight. Lots of confessionals for Abby Maria. Kind of glance at it. Jeremy had 10 points. So it was between Jeremy and Kimmy. They each had 2 confessionals, and then they got their 8 points for the challenge. Third place is Dylan. Dylan had 31 points on the night.
32.
Huh?
32 with the extra confessional.
32, you're correct. Yeah, 32 points. Sorry, I need to. I'll adjust it after the podcast.
Nico's trying to job you, Dylan. You
Wow.
gotta look.
This is what you get. This is payback. I'm jobbing you back.
Payback.
You know.
Oh my god.
You know what it's for.
I couldn't save you.
Yeah, whatever. So you had Kelly Wentworth had 10 points.
Yay.
5 from confessionals, 5 from her idol find. So she was the MVP of the night. She got all of her points, non-challenge related. We had several 10-point scorers that were mostly 2 points for confessionals and then 8 points for the challenge. So Dylan ended the night with 31 points. He also got the 5 points from the Vitas boot off. Our first boot with 5 points. You ended up with 7 points from Vitas total.
There you go, Vetus.
So tied for first.
Oh.
Myself and Dan. Dan and I's teams each ended with 10 confessionals. And we each have 3 members of the Bion tribe.
That's
So
what
total,
I think.
myself and Dan had 34 points.
Wow.
So Dan and I are tied for first with 34. Dylan's in third with 32. And Ben is currently in last with 27.
I have 27.
That MVP of the night was Kelly Wentworth. LVPs were Terry Dietz, PG, and Wu, who each only put up 1 point tonight because they each had 1 confessional. So not strong starts for them. Monica would have been in there as well, but she did get the challenge win at the end.
My girl.
She got saved with the challenge win. So PG, Wu, Terry, least valuable players tonight, and Kelly Wentworth gets the MVP for 10 points. So yeah, first week looking pretty good for Dan and myself, but Dylan's not too far behind, and Ben, you're not out of it either. We got plenty of weeks to go. And then let's look at the next time on Survivor. We don't see a lot. Basically, it starts off we got Abby and PG going at it. Abby's dropping profane language. If if you F with me, I'm gonna F you up. I don't even know what she said. She's pissed.
Just angry.
And then we see Varner mixing it up. He's back with the old schoolers, so it seems. So next week's episode, we talked about it a little bit. It's Survivor MacGyver was the name of the episode. I gave a speculation during the draft that it's going to be something about Joe. I can't think of anyone else that Survivor MacGyver would be about.
What was the title of tonight's episode?
It was called Second Chance. So no one got any points for naming the episode. Because I think pretty much every player said Second Chance. Other than Monica, who barely spoke.
God, don't remind me.
So I didn't throw that one in there tonight. So we'll get that title naming points in next week. So yeah, what do we think? Just from the little bit that we saw, does anyone have anything to say about next week's episode?
I went to piss during that scene, or during the final thing, so I missed it.
Okay, gotcha.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Gotta go.
You gotta go. So, all right. So now that we've seen the first episode, we've seen how it plays out. Does anyone have? What's the one thing that each of you guys are looking forward to the most, moving forward this season? Ben, let's start with you.
Jeremy.
All right. Just real talk. Lays it out
One
there.
word.
Jeremy. All right. So Jeremy is the thing that Ben is looking forward to most. Ben, your idol is still showing. Dylan, what are you looking forward to most this season?
The drama and the suspense during challenges and people try to get that idol. I want to see people fail and get called out.
Yeah, I'm hoping that happens. I'm hoping it would be great for the Steven Fishback edit if Steven finally finds the clue, goes to try to find it at the challenge, gets caught by like Savage or something, and Savage just goes savage on him, destroys him.
Savage is all about like team unity and not people being sneaky. So like,
Yeah, for sure.
that would be bad for Steven.
Oh, it'd be hilarious. Dan, what are you looking forward to most now? Now that we've seen the first episode, what are you looking forward to this season?
I think, like you just said it, I think there's a Savage versus Steven narrative slowly building here. Started with Steven staring at Andrew while he chopped that tree down.
He punches the tree down.
Yeah, you just get him like chopping the tree, and then it
Falcon
flashes to
punches it.
Steven like hunched over a log or whatever, and he's just like sweating profusely, staring like over at Andrew.
nervous.
Well, they make it look like he's staring. And I think there's something there. I don't know if it's going to be a long-term storyline, but I think definitely in the short term we're going to see Savage versus Steven. And I think whoever gets the better of that is going to have an impact on the long-term game.
I see Savage calling Steven a pissant at some point during the game.
I hope Steven gives him these then. Just give him these, just Steven.
That'd be sick.
Get the fair play action going.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, so let me
Gotta get some
check
beers.
the questions and comments one more time really quick. I don't think we have anybody in here. No comments. No one loves us tonight. We did jump up. We did get up to 4 viewers at one point. So we brushed with our highs. I think in the next couple of weeks that might be able to go up. And the reason for that is we are finally going to get some Survivor guests on the show.
Yeah. Let's hear the big news.
So I didn't forget. I almost did.
I'm so excited.
So next week, we are going to have our first Survivor guest of the season.
Can we all guess who it is first?
And, yeah, go ahead and guess.
I think it's a recent player, and I'm going to say Brad Culpepper.
Brad Culpepper. All right.
You know what? I'm going big with my guess, and I'm going with the most recent winner, Mike Holloway.
Mike Holloway. Ooh.
I'm on a similar vein. I was thinking Mama C.
Mama C. All right, you guys are thinking pretty recent. And give me one second here.
You forget their name?
Huh?
Do you
You
forget their name?
No, I know their name. I was gonna pull something up, but I can't find it.
Share your screen. Share your screen.
I was going to, but I couldn't get it up. like
I want to see the
Kelly
face of the
in her
person
poll.
Yeah, your
Um,
idol's not showing.
Yeah, my idol is not up right now. So I'll just break the news here. Next week, for episode 2, we will have the one, the only, Billy Garcia.
Hey!
Billy
Hey!
Garcia will be
Cook
coming on the
Islands.
podcast next week.
Cook Island.
I talked to him today. He's down for it. He's going to take some time out of his schedule next Thursday to join us. So Billy Garcia is going to come on the episode next week. He's going to podcast with us. He's stoked about it. So Billy Garcia is coming up next week. We've got another person locked in for week 4. I'll announce that one after the end of week 3, and I'm currently working on getting somebody for the episode 3 recap. Right now, nothing's official, so I'll wait on that until we've got someone. But yeah, so Billy Garcia next week, and that's going to be fun. He's a great character. He's got thousands and thousands of bits of enthusiasm. He's got a lot of energy. I'm excited about it. So tune in next week, same time, 4 o'clock Eastern next Thursday, or 7 o'clock Eastern next week on Thursday for the episode 2 recap. It'll be us and Billy Garcia. So, any closing words?
Cool. That's cool.
It'll be fun next week. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yes,
we got
totally
a Hall of Fame early boot up there with Zane. So
Probably the best second boot of all time.
No, I'm really looking forward to that. That's awesome. I know, he's someone who might not get a lot of love by diehard Survivor fans, but I know his legend's kind of grown in the community over the years, and he has a big following on Twitter, so I can't wait to talk to Billy. That's awesome.
And
right now,
really quick, if you aren't following us on Twitter already, follow us here at Island Talk WNH. That's at Island Talk WNH. If you want to follow Dan, you can follow Dan at DanBall44. You can follow Dylan at DWalls with the Z 09. And you can follow Ben at BlackBen_. And if you want to follow me personally, you can follow me at TheWisdomPickle. And if you want to send us an email,
2 underscores.
Email us at islandtalkwnh@gmail.com. That's islandtalkwnh@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments, send them there. Post them on our Twitter page. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm usually pretty quick about it. So with that, does anyone have any final words?
Good night.
Yes.
All right.
Are we back on Tuesday with the Power Rankings?
Oh, yeah, and we will be back on Tuesday for our Power Rankings with Dylan and Dan. That'll be at 7 Eastern on Tuesday, so tune in then. That'll be our preview podcast as well. So tune in for that. And otherwise, let's cue the music.
Go Giants!
Go Giants!
All right, thanks, everyone. Have a good night. See you later.